Hey guys, it's Janie. Welcome back to the Bookworms, buddy. Let's talk about some series. Okay, welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me again. I apologize for not having any videos last week. I'm here today. We're going to talk about some series. You guys know that I do a series-a-thon every year. Past years, I've done a series-a-thon for each season. Last year, I only did a spring series-a-thon. This year, I'm doing a year-long series-a-thon. I'm not going to put any seasons on it. I'm just going to take the whole year to finish these series because I'm not one to read series back to back to back to back. Because a lot of times it just gets to be too much, and I just get bogged down by a specific genre of book. So I like to split it up a little bit. If the story is good enough, then I will consider picking up the next one. But also, if I'm not looking to pick up the next one, if it's good enough, then I'll remember that and I'll retain that information, and I can just slide right back into the second book whenever I choose to. But the whole idea of it is just not cramming them all in, because I crammed them all in last spring, and I was reading the Lisa Jackson New Orleans series, and it just got to be a lot reading that series. And Lisa Jackson's one of my favorite mystery writers, but that series just was too much. So I'm just not rushing myself to read these. And I don't know why I rushed on that one, because they're different cases. So I don't know. Sometimes I just do that. I guess maybe I was on a Lisa Jackson kick, and halfway through the series I'm like, ugh, how much more is there? Okay, so enough rambling. Here we go. Let's talk about some series here. I think the first #1 series that I want to finish this year is the Robert Hunter Thriller series by Chris Carter. You guys know all about Chris Carter and his writing because I ramble and ramble and ramble on this series. And I just finished One by One, which I believe was book 5. I want to say that was book number 5. Right now, I believe with Genesis just coming out, I believe that's book 13. So I don't know if it's stopping there with Robert Hunter, or if there's going to be more after that. But let me tell you guys, I think he could just keep writing and writing and writing, because I can't stop reading them. He has a darker side to his writing. Everything is just like right up in your face. Nothing is sugar-coated. You witness everything Robert Hunter is witnessing in the book. So maybe it's that just keeps me intrigued, because nothing is kept from you. You reading it, you're learning it right when Robert's learning it, and it's fantastic. Chris Carter is a great writer, very fluid, and I just love that it's a little bit darker and you get to learn everything about everything. So that is one of the series that I really want to have completed this year, at least caught up. So I'll be starting book 6 here in the next week or so. I'll be picking up book number 6 to that. So really enjoying that, you guys. If you haven't read any Chris Carter, pick it up. The Crucifix Killer is #1. So go check it out. I do believe it's important to read them in order if you're going to read the whole series. If you're not, then you can just pick up any of them, because they're different cases. But you'll learn so much more about Robert going from the beginning. Alright, the next book the next series that I already completed was The Kingdom of the Wicked. This was by Carrie Maniscalco. Loved that trilogy. If you guys have not read it, pick it up. Kingdom of the Wicked. Check mark. The next one we have here is A Court of Thorns and Roses. ACOTAR. Not even started that, by Sarah J. Maas. I want to get it started. I want to finish that series this year, so I am definitely going to get to that one. I absolutely loved Throne of Glass. I loved all of it. That was another one that I read most of the way back to back. The last 2 books, I think I took a break in between those last 2 books. But for the rest of them, I think I just whipped right through that. Sarah J. Maas can just write a fantasy. She can just spin a tale like nobody's business. Always something new and fresh in all of her books. It's just, it was fantastic. Fantastic fantasy series there. The next one I want to finish is the Washington Post series by M.W. Craven. The last book that I read was number 3, was The Curator. The next book is called Dead Ground, and then the 5th one is The Botanist. And I'm thinking it's going to stop at 5. I don't know for sure, but I'd like to get those 2 books read, at least be caught up if there is going to be more to that series. The next one we got here is the Red Queen series. Check. I finished that one off. Great series, you guys. Not a favorite, but it was still very good. I loved the characters. I feel like it's a very character-driven series. If you haven't read it, by Victoria Aveyard, pick it up. Very good. The next series that I want to read is the Starbound series. This series is by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. It starts with These Fractured Stars. So I believe this is just a trilogy, and I'm looking forward to reading it. I don't know anything about the trilogy, but I know there was a lot of really great reviews on that trilogy, and I've had the books on my shelf forever. I need to get that trilogy read. The next one I want to talk about here is Briar University. I just completed book number 3 from the Briar University. This is by Elle Kennedy, and I'm enjoying her writing so much. I enjoy her characters so much, and I love the idea that it's a romance. They're a romance series, but there's always a pretty deep-rooted plot. Like, you learn a lot. There's a lot of backstory you learn from these characters that are not revealed up front. This is something that just starts to come into focus as you read, and it's really interesting to learn a little bit more about your characters. You know, they don't just say, okay, here's this person and this person, there you go. There's a relationship. There's a good plot, usually, behind both of your characters. So, in this series, and in the off-campus series, they're all intertwined, all the characters. So, if you're going to read the entire series, then you need to start with the first one. And I believe you need to start with the off-campus series first, because you're going to get spoiled. So if you want to read the Briar University series, then don't go back and read the off-campus, because everything is mixed in and woven together, and all the characters know everybody. So, you know, just keep that in mind if you're going to read them. These are hockey romance stories, and I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. I love the female protagonists in these books because they can stand on their own 2 feet, guys, and I love that. That one of the worst tropes for me in a romance is the fact that the females always just seem to be so naive. They're stumbling all over themselves just to get to the guy, and he can treat her like dirt, but she still loves him. And this trope is just overwritten. I've read so many romances with that kind of a trope, and that's why Elle Kennedy's books are a breath of fresh air to me, because her female protagonists are nothing like that. So keep that in mind. So Briar University, I want to finish. I don't know how many books. I think maybe 1 or 2 more in that one. I don't know if she's still writing them, but to catch up, I think I need to read 1 or 2 more. The next one I've got here, of course, is Off Campus. This is the other one of Elle Kennedy's that I'm reading. I've read 1 and 2 on that. So, I don't know how many books are going to be in it, but I do believe there's 2 more to read. I have all of them on my Kindle right now, so I can just go to it and read it when I want to. And these are going to be pretty easy to finish, or catch up, whichever one it is, because you never know these days if there's going to be more than 4, 5, if it's going to just keep going or not. But you're going to run out of characters in a romance, because, I mean, even though you're pulling characters out of each of them, you know, you're going to run out of characters soon enough. So I think they're probably going to stop at 4 or 5 books. We'll see. And the last one that I wrote down here, and I know there's probably a million other series that I want to get to. If there is, then I'll do another Series-a-thon video. But the last one on here is The Program by Suzanne Young. This has about 6 books, I think, and I could never find The Program. Could never find it in our used bookstore. I know I could have ordered it if I wanted to order it, but most of the time when I buy new books, I'm getting them from Recycled in Denton, Texas, and they never had The Program. Well, it was last year. I believe it was before my sister came in October, maybe after that. But there they were, all the books, sitting there displayed, all in trade paperback, and I'm like, I'm getting the series. I have been wanting to read this. I've not been able to get the first one. I'm going to read them now. So, from what I understand, suicide is on a rampage. It's just like the numbers are up, and there's a program. It's called The Program, which is supposed to stop these kids from killing themselves. And that's pretty much all I know about it. I was so intrigued by that how this is like a rampage sweeping the nation of kids committing suicide. And I know there is a chance that I'll be let down with this series, because with this type of topic, you will need realism. I mean, let me rephrase that. I will need some realism. Because it's such a huge thing, it's such a huge topic, and it needs to be realistic. And I'm hoping and praying that it's going to be realistic. I'm pretty sure that this series is done. I'm pretty sure there's not going to be any more books. I didn't look it up to see how far, if it went past the books that I bought, but I'm hoping that I have every single one of them and I can start reading these. So let's keep our fingers crossed on that. There you have it, guys. Those are all the series so far that I want to complete. I can even, I guess, talk about Hopeless. It's a duology, and I will finish the second book of that this week. But if I come up with any other series that I want to finish besides the ones that I talked to you about today, I will throw together another series video. I've got a good mix here of mystery, thriller, fantasy, romance. I think that's a good mix of books to read for a series-a-thon, a year-long series-a-thon. So get your series out there, guys. If you do videos on it, let me know, and I will come watch them. If you've read any of these series that I have mentioned today, let me know what your thoughts of those were as well. But that is all I've got for you today. Thanks for staying tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.